I think, we don't start.
The link below, do you see it? Why are you watching me still? You haven't clicked the link yet. Click it. Click it. Click the link right now.
I used to want to do modeling.
And what happened?
I don't even know what happened. It was just more like the being in some form of entertainment was attractive to me, because my older brother was doing music. Darn was doing music at the time. Then he started doing acting. So naturally, being the younger brother, I kind of just did. Yeah. But I liked it, and I would still do modeling, but just kind of started doing other stuff. Yeah.
Would you do a photo shoot now? You a model?
Would I do? Oh yeah. Yeah. Depends. Now I don't know if I'm dedicated like you, but you know, if it was something nice that I wanted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does take
a lot of dedication.
Some dedication.
Yeah, because you gotta just be committed to that. So I don't know if I could, but I probably would. If the outfits were right, I would do it. What got you into modeling?
My mom put me in modeling when I was 7.
At 7?
7 years old.
So you've been modeling the whole way through. What was that like?
I kind of like in and out a couple times, you know, growing up. When I got a little bit older, I was kind of figuring out, you know, what to do in my life. But
yeah.
Yeah, since my mom had put me in it, it was kind of like I'm doing it. And then as I got older, you know, a lot of people get taken advantage of, and you know, you spending money here and there, left and right, and just being taken advantage of, constantly trying to put yourself out there and promote yourself, not knowing which way to go, which direction to go in. And so she had kind of got to a point where she was like, all right, you're old enough to kind of do this on your own, and I've been putting money out there, and this is kind of where I'm just gonna let you do your own thing. So either you do it or you don't, or whatever. I'm done. So I was like, all right. And she told me later, like, I was really surprised that you kept going with it, like, without me pushing you or telling you to do it. So yeah, I just continued on doing it. I guess at that point I loved it and passionate about it. So yeah.
Wow. Now, how old were you when she said that you could do it on your own now?
I don't really recall. I just remember her telling me, yeah, I told you that. And I sort of remember it a little bit, but I don't remember how old I was. Yeah. I know that when it was my teen years, and I was going to a church where one of the models from Ebony Fashion Fair was also attending. And I ended up meeting her. She had a fashion show. And that was my very first fashion show that I did, and my very first time being in heels. I was about 15 or 16. I was in like 2000.
Wow.
And it might have even been earlier than that. And yeah, from then on, she kind of really motivated me to keep going anyway. After that, because I started learning some stuff. It was like, okay, I'm not being taken advantage of at this point. So yeah, it was good. So kept going. What
was the nerves like being in your first show? Crazy.
I couldn't even walk in those heels. Like I could barely walk in the heels. They were like 2-inch block heels. It wasn't even.
Yeah, the pointy.
Yeah, I was struggling. I was like, oh, how am I supposed to walk in these?
Wow.
I had no heels, and her name is Jada. Her name is Jada Jackson. I think she got married. Don't remember her married name, but she gave me a bunch of clothes, and she gave me some shoes, and she actually gave me the shoes that I walked in. And yeah, it was a stroke. She's like, you ain't never walked in? I was like,
in front of everybody.
I was struggling. I think, you know, I practiced in them a little bit, but I just remember being super like, woo. But it was cool to get out there. And I had done pageants and little talent shows and things like that growing up anyway. So I guess kind of being out in front of people wasn't too far-fetched.
Yeah.
So yeah. And a lot of my friends and stuff were there at the show. So it's kind of like, yeah, let me kind of show off for them. I don't, you know, remember being too horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, very nervous. I still get nervous.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, what's the nerves like before every? Because I know like doing music and performing every time. I don't know if that ever goes away because I've been performing since I was 18. So I'm looking at like I'm 35 now. So like the first time I think I performed was like 2010. So I've been performing for a while and still I feel those nerves. So like, what is that like for you?
I think that just means you care. Like if you're not nervous at that point, like are you still passionate about it and do you even care about it? So I think that's something that's natural. You care about what people think. So you want to make sure you don't mess up, and there's always room for improvement for everybody. So it's like, okay, what am I going to do? Let me make sure I'm doing it right, whatever it is. What are people going to think? After I go out the first time, you know, after that, it's like, okay, cool, let me get back out there. Let's get this over with. That when I'm not no, I still get nervous. Even when I'm trying to get a show over with, I'm still nervous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I've been following or noticing you like modeling for a while now. It's been years. And you're always posting things. You always have something going on. And that's something I thought was always dope because like for a while, like, you know, being a creator, like just creating content, whether it's audio or video, like I always want to make sure I'm doing stuff. And for a time, it was tough for me, like dealing with that consistency, like dropping something consistently. And in 2017 or 2018, I did this thing called A Year of Music where every month I dropped a single. So that was like leading up to, you know, me actually being like really consistent at making sure I'm putting content out there. But you've been able to like remain consistent in what you're doing, modeling, stuff like that. So I think that's a big, you know, kudos to you. But I guess talk a little bit about that and like how important was is consistency to you, and how have you been able to just like remain consistent? Well, I'm glad that it looks like I'm consistent.
Cause sometimes I be like, man, I know I need to be doing something right now, or be putting something out. Even tonight, I need to post something. And it's just like, now I need to post something. Eventually, I'm going to get an app and set everything up to where it comes out. I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
But after doing this for so long, people call me, so I don't necessarily have to go looking for things to do all the time. At this point, they're like, hey, Shay, can you do this? Or I need this person, or I need that. Like there's kind of always something going on because I've built up that kind of network.
Right.
I always explain to people it's not who you know, it's who knows you that, you know, gets you wherever it is that you're trying to go. So I'm always meeting people and interacting with people and helping people if I can. So luckily that has been something that has kept me busy and working.
Yeah.
I'll go into story time.
You can, go ahead.
So I'll start with my friend Chantel. When I first moved down here, I volunteered at some events because I didn't know anybody in the industry.
Right.
So I found some shows that were happening. I asked them if they needed any models. And if they told me no, I asked if I could volunteer if they needed any help.
Wow.
Right. So people have to know, don't be, oh, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not doing this type of thing. You never know. So I ended up volunteering. I was steaming clothes and helping models get dressed.
Wow.
Yeah. And somebody was like, well, why ain't you in the show? Like, you look like you need to, you know. I was like, yeah, no, it's cool. You know, that you got to know what's for you, and it's something for you to get, and you go and get it, and, you know, the rest will fall into place. So I did that. I ended up meeting some people there. That was cool. I did that around a little bit. I got like some random calls from people about work. Like as soon as I got here, hair jobs. I got a hair ad campaign with Lotta Body. I'm still on their website. And then I got another call from an agency. I don't even know where they got my information. I was like, where did you get my information from? I don't know, such and such. Okay, I don't even know these people. Okay, whatever. Anyhow. So I end up going to do some work with them, and I met another model that was there with them. So she was like, hey, I want to do more runway stuff and, you know, learn how to walk better and things like that. So I said, okay, no problem. I got you. This is where I live. You can come over and I'll teach you at my house.
Wow.
So just, you know, didn't know her, just did a few shows together. Okay, cool, come over. So she came by and we started working on some runway stuff. And then she started getting in some shows and some events, and we actually became really good friends. We're still good friends now. And eventually she said, you know what? I worked with this lady, it was about a year ago or so, but I think that she would be a good person for you to know. I did some play or event. I think she would be great for you to know. It's like, okay, cool. So she gave me her email address. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me email the lady. I emailed her and she's like, hey, I'm doing this right now, but sure, you know, I would love to, you know, meet you, you know, just however we're going to correspond.
Right.
We can figure something out. So I chased this lady.
Yeah?
I chased this lady for like maybe a year or so at least.
Wow.
I went in my phone and I scheduled messages to go out her. Eventually we exchanged numbers and we talked about meeting for lunch. I invited her to a show I had. I would message her and be like, hey, do you have anything coming up where you need any models? Hey, happy holiday, happy Valentine's Day. Look, any reason or excuse to be able to like reach out to her. I was like reaching out, okay? So she ended up telling me one day there is a show at Macy's and they're having a casting call. No, I end up hitting her up and she was like, oh yeah, actually there's a show at Macy's. Did you see the casting call on my page? You got a page? I haven't been following you this whole time. I'm trying to get to you. Like, what is this? So I ended up following her on her page and I saw the casting. I went there. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do it. I think I had another schedule conflict. And I was trying to talk to her about it. And she was like, well, I'm not a part of it. I was just one of the judges. I was like, okay, well, all right, well, I'm still finna come and try to do it. I remember going to the casting and she was one of the judges. And when I walked in, it was like, oh, is this one of your girls? And she was like, yeah. And I was just like, oh, I don't even know her. I ain't never even met her. She's looking out for me. Thank you.
That's big, though.
So I end up, it was for Black History Month, I end up doing the show at Macy's. And then she is actually the director of the bridal show that I'm doing. And I've been doing that for 3 years. Wow. So that relationship with my one friend, when she introduced me to somebody else, and, you know, I end up being a part of this bridal show tour through her. So that was a kind of back and forth too, because she had this casting call for the bridal show. I'm like, let me go to the casting call, and I end up being there. I got there later than she was there. She left like 30 minutes early, so I went in and she was gone. And I was like, dang, I was hoping I was running to her. Now I'm not gonna get to be in it, and so I end up hitting her up after that, like, hey, I just wanted to see if you're still considering me for the show. Okay, yeah, no, I haven't found out. Hey, you know, I know you said you're still thinking about it, but I have some other things coming up, you know, some job opportunities, and I wanted to just kind of compare and contrast. And oh yeah, no, I'm still considering you. Yeah. It's okay if I do pick you and you can't do the dates. Hey, you know, just wanted to see what. So she ended up telling me congratulations, and I ended up being a part of the show. And not only was I a part of the show, I was one of the veteran models that had been there for years and years and years. She was actually pregnant, and so I was taking her place with her actual husband. And the couple, I actually met them in Orlando through the lady that I was just telling you who worked for Ebony Fashion Fair. Wow. Which is crazy. I'm like, oh wow, I'm doing this show and I actually know people that's already here. I met them years ago, even though we weren't really communicating much from then, but they knew who I was. I was like, okay, cool, this is perfect. So comfortable. Now this is year 3 with the bridal show. Yeah. So that's just an example of how it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And really just you get out what you put in. Yeah, it's networking. Yeah. Networking is like, so I was talking to one of the guests,
And I was telling him how, like, you know, what we do in front of the camera, or like creating any type of content, whatever it is that you do, or whatever it is that you create, doing it is fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, modeling for you is fun. You love it. You have to have a passion for it. You've been doing it this long and going this hard at it. So I know you're passionate. And whatever it is, you know, those things are great that we do. But what we do off camera or behind the scenes is like 10 times more important, or in some cases it's harder, because it's great that you have it and that you do it and that you can create it. But if no one knows who you are, no one knows what you do, it's kind of tough to get anything out of it, especially to be able to, because it's not cheap. It's not easy. So you kind of need that in order to facilitate and do what you do. So how long have you been in Georgia for?
About 8 or 9 years. I've been back here. I started elementary school here.
So you're from here?
Sort of. I was born in Michigan. I grew up in Florida.
Born in Michigan, grew up in Florida.
I graduated from high school in Florida, but I started elementary school here, and I was born in Michigan.
Oh, so you left the cold, extreme cold, and then you went to like the best weather state.
Extreme heat.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you kind of get both. You get both here.
That's what I love about being here. I get the seasons, the leaves change colors. Yeah. There are leaves.
They don't show too much
trees,
now.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like it. It's in between here. This is like a hub, so when you're flying in and out, you can, yeah.
Well, what school did you graduate from in Florida?
Apopka.
Apopka?
Yeah.
Ah, so you was a blue daughter.
Oh, wow.
I graduated. Well, I didn't graduate. I went to Evans.
Okay.
So I went to Evans. So there's not too much of a rivalry. Apopka and Pine Hills, there's a rivalry there.
Never mind. We're not going to talk about that.
That's cool.
Not gonna.
So, like, what, I guess, so COVID is going on. What is modeling like during COVID? Like, is there work still out there? Are you doing less shows, more print? What has that been like for you?
Ooh, well, when the pandemic came on, everything stopped. I will say that. Everything was like, boop. And I had so many things lined up. I was so ready. I had so much going on. I was so ready, and it was just like, okay, yeah, everything's canceled, postponed, shut down. No, we're not doing that. I actually am a model coach too. I've been teaching for about 15 years almost. Wow. So I decided to kind of do an event on my own. Normally I work through agencies and work with their girls, or somebody else kind of contracts me to come in, but I'm like, all right, it's time for me to do my own thing, create my own source of income, have my own business type situation that way. And so I had 2 events planned, and I COVID came, and one of them I actually did. Yeah. So I had a 5-hour workshop, and I was kind of like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I think I had 4 or 5 students. I had like 5 students. And it was amazing. It I was like, okay, great. And they were like, I'm so happy you decided to do this. And one of my students just hit me up and was saying that she posted me in her story saying that, you know, one of my favorite things about this year was getting started on my modeling career. And she tagged me, and this was way back in March when I had this event. So I'm like, wow, it's the end of the year, it's the next year, it's almost March again, and that really impacted you. So that really made me super happy to hear that. So I had that event, and then I had another event planned where I was having 10 to 12 models come and stay in a house, and we were going to do all types of I don't want to give it away, but I don't want to give it away, but pretty much training and courses, but in a fun way, and stay in the house for a weekend and just really go over runway, go over, you know, photo shoots and lighting and, you know, walking and praying and just all types of stuff. So I had people come in. I had a girl coming from Michigan, some from North Carolina, Miami. Even my students at the 5 students that I had, 2 of them came from out of state. So
wow.
I was really, really looking forward to doing it. I was excited. I had invested my time and my money and everything. And then Kobe was like, nope. I was just like,
dang.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But maybe it just wasn't time yet. Luckily, kind of now things are starting to pick back up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a blessing.
Right.
I am not wearing a mask a lot of the time because I have to have hair and makeup and stuff done. So a lot of times the makeup artists and the photographers and everybody around me is all masked up, and I'm, I guess, exposed.
Yeah, you're out here.
But so far I haven't been,
Yeah.
I haven't been sick, and so that's also a blessing.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad. Sometimes you need that break, and so that did give me time to kind of work more on my business side of doing things on my own. So now I've been promoting more of myself and teaching that way. So it's been a gift and a curse.
Yeah, I think COVID kind of it stopped a lot, but I think a lot of people, started to realize that you can't really count on all these other things. You better start building something for yourself. I know for us and TademyMedia, that's kind of been the biggest year we've had during COVID. Yeah. Like, it was kind of one of the biggest years we've had. A lot of stuff came out of it, and a lot of people I know and follow, like, they've been doing a lot too. So that's been kind of dope. So I feel like when things do open back up and people aren't so leery again, I think a lot's gonna happen. I think a lot of good and a lot of bad is gonna happen. I think, like, in the next 5 to 10 years, we're gonna be seeing some stuff from both sides. But I
don't think it's going anywhere, honestly. The way, I don't know, but I just don't think it's going anywhere. And I'm not with this whole vaccine situation at all. No. No.
People been I don't know if like general public, what the number has been like for the general pop taking it, but like I know like they had some stuff on TV where like leaders and stuff were taking
passing
vaccine
out and stuff. Ain't nobody
crazy.
Y'all can have that.
Did you see the Capitol thing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I just felt so
angry about it. I think that a lot of people have been tripping about them, like, not really.
They ain't do that to us. They ain't let us get away with none of that.
They were just chilling. Like,
and they were trying to say, "Oh, it's fine. This is you're allowed to protest. Like, they're within their rights to be able to protest."
Right.
When we was protesting, we was getting shut down.
Yeah.
And y'all letting them just
chill,
come in.
Yeah. I don't know if this was true or not, but I seen a post on Facebook where the guy that walked away with the podium, he had it for sale on eBay for like $99,000. I don't know if there was a real poster if someone like made the listing, but if he did sell that podium, that's insane. Or if he did have it listed for sale.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just insane to me.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. The president allowed it. So, and it was planned. I feel like it was already planned anyway.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that I feel about it.
Yeah. That's crazy. So your modeling school, you've been teaching for 15 years. Teaching modeling. So you're modeling, doing events as well as coaching. Like, what put you in a space where you say, okay, did you go to school for modeling or were you mostly self-taught?
So I started kind of doing my own thing, like growing up, and then I'm gonna say maybe around my teenage years, I ended up going to John Casablanca, which is a modeling school. I graduated from them. I ended up going to Barbizon, and then I ended up teaching at Barbizon.
What's Barbizon?
Barbizon is also another well-known modeling school.
Okay.
So I also was in a modeling troupe and did some teaching there. I got some opportunities to kind of lead and teach there. And from then on, it just kind of developed more and more like, hey, I can help you. Me just wanted to help turned into, all right, well, I'm a model coach. I do this.
Wow.
I took a couple of other classes. I still take classes, honestly, to this day, and I always am watching because there's always room for growth and things to learn. I never feel like, oh, no, I know everything about this industry. So I still will take a class to this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm ignorant to it. Like, you see modeling and you see these things you just
like,
see
that's
on TV.
Easy.
You think that.
You really? I don't need to take no class, but I
know
everything.
It's just walk. But no, it's like everything is.
I felt like I knew everything.
You did?
At one point, like, I'm a professional model. Like, I do this. When you're young, too, and you're a teenager, it's like, nobody can tell me nothing. I know everything. My parents don't know nothing. So, I guess in that stance, it was, I don't need, you need me type situation. And looking back, I see now, like, hey, woof. I see some pictures. I was like,
oh, you was fine. You look at pictures and you can see if a person.
Oh man, I look at pictures. I had a student send me videos of her walk, or actually she wasn't even a student yet. She just was like, hey, I would like some help with my walk. Send me some videos of your walk. And I came back and I was like, oh, them shoes is too big. You're not doing this, that. And she was just like, you saw all of that from that, and it was only like a couple of seconds like of the video. She didn't even take it from the right angle for me to see much more. I could have seen more. I was like, no, this. Like, I can name it all.
Pick it apart just like that.
I am. I'm coaching for a fashion show that's coming up in a couple weeks. Right now, I have about 30 models that are in that show. Some males, some females, some female males, and some female males, and some guys with their girls, but they are like, they got it going on. I'm like, hey, I'm telling the guys, like, look at her, because she's killing the game right now. Okay,
so they do a better job.
So it's a couple girls that, they're like, I'm like, okay, girl. See, so it just, I have a very different. I've never been taught the way that I'm teaching. So the way that I teach, you're kind of guaranteed you're going to do something you never did before, or see something you never did before, or you're going to learn something that you never knew. Like, I'm going to, like, hands down guarantee that before you leave out, it's going to be some stuff. Period. That's the type of teacher that I am. That's how confident.
No, man. Confident, big it up. And I assume that you're like that because when you were learning, there were things that you felt or saw from who you taught. You was like, oh man, I wish someone would have taught me like this because I learned better this way.
I'm not necessarily sure if it was the way it was taught. It's just the different things I've experienced.
Okay.
I've done the local shows. Like, hey, the urban thing, the Bronner Brothers, all the extra avant-garde type. I've done the commercial. These entail different things. They're not all the same. So when you go do one thing and you're the same way, it's like, okay, wait a minute. There's some things I can do to improve here. Let me try to figure out what I can do differently or how I can make this fit this. So I teach that way. I don't give stuff away.
Oh no!
To keep it top secret, you're gonna have to.
You gotta pay for
book
that.
Me for that. But
there you go.
But I guarantee, hands down, even some of the students' parents will come in if they're underage, and they learn things like, oh, I didn't think of that, or even as far as getting booked and how to get booked and how you're presenting yourself and different things like that. So I'll go over everything from top to bottom. Yeah.
What's the youngest student you've ever had?
Let me see. She was about, I think she was maybe 4 or 5. She was really little. She was
what?
Tiny. Yeah, she was so cute. Yeah.
They listening?
Yeah.
They listen?
Yeah. Yeah, she did really good too. Yeah.
What was the oldest student?
Ooh, wow. So the house that I was gonna have the models come stay at, I had one lady, she was 40. And she wanted to come. I'm not sure of the oldest, because I don't really.
You don't be asking.
But even in the fashion shows and things like that, there are some 60 people, 60-year-old, maybe if it's a mature audience, or all ages. Doing the local show, you don't really have like an age cap or anything. So yeah, I've gone down with everybody.
Teach them all.
Yeah.
So when you think of modeling, I think a lot of times people just naturally think of women, but there's a lot of guys in modeling.
There's guys that model. Anybody can be a model.
Yeah.
Period. Anybody can be a model. People say, I could never model, but you don't realize that there are hand models. There's lips for lipstick. There's eyes for mascara and eyeliner. There's feet. You got shoes. There's a teacher that I met when I was going to Barbizon. She was a guest coach. She changed my life, literally. Wow. And she is very top heavy. And she has really long legs and she's tall. And her legs are thin and she's just very top heavy, right? She is on an ad for a stockings campaign. Yeah. So you have legs, you got arms, you have different body parts. You can do parts modeling. You got hair. You can don't just limit it to, because everybody thinks, model, runway.
Yeah, that's the first thing you think about.
Runway, period, or pictures, high fashion stuff. There's so many other aspects of modeling. So that's another thing to piggyback on when it talks about teaching. Oh, it looks so easy. There's so many different things. Have you ever thought while somebody's walking down the runway, where their arms are supposed to be, how their hands look? Have you ever thought about which way they're looking? Are they looking this way, that way, with their eyes? Yeah. Those are all different aspects of modeling.
So when you're going down a runway, all of these things are in your head and you're just thinking about what everything is doing. Well, probably not you, because
I still sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's what I'm looking at when I'm teaching. So I know all these things. So when I'm teaching you, I'm like, okay, this is how I'm able to tell. Them shoes is too big. You need to get some shoes that's comfortable. You're shortening your step. One arm is swinging. Your balance is off. You need to fix your posture so that both things work in alignment. If you lean back a little bit more, you'll get a little bit of this. If your hips move from side to side instead of twisting, crisscross your feet.
I would fall. I would fall. I really would. I don't know if I would do if I could do, talking to you now, if I learned from you, I could do runway.
I could do this.
I could do print, though. I could take some pictures.
You could do runway, too. You can walk. It's not that. For men, you just got to have some sauce. You just got to have a little swag.
That's it.
And you can probably do it. You can't be walking all... You gotta have a little swag with it. Yeah. You can get down there and do the little hand thing.
That's a lot of guys do that. The hand rub.
Do that.
Lick your lips.
You do natural stuff. You got sleeves. Pull your sleeves out. Yeah. You looking at the audience. You looking at the camera. You selling yourself. You selling what you have on. You got to make somebody want to buy what you have on. So. Yeah. What was
the not biggest, but what was one of the best shows you've had? Where you feel was the best, not primarily audience size or whatever, but what was one of the best moments that you've had? Wow. Whether it was runway or print.
Wow. I would say, as far as modeling, it was actually TV. I was in the Black Girls Rock commercial with Queen Latifah. I went to the casting. I was picked out of 12 girls. They wanted somebody with a strong walk. I actually got to walk, and I did the mannequin turn that I do. Yeah. And they actually put some of that in the commercial, and it played every 5 seconds for a good 2-3 months straight. Wow. And they had our pictures up at the awards, the Black Girls Rock Awards. They had big, huge photos of us hanging down, like a whole wall size photo. Like that's how big.
Wow.
So that was really big for me.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, I made it, mama.
Was that
the fact that Queen Latifah walked in I was done. I was like, who coming? The Queen. What? Oh my God. She came. She was like, girl, hey. Yeah, that was a moment for me.
Yeah. That it was a moment because of the event, or was it like how you feeling? Were you were feeling confident at that point in your career?
The fact that I was chosen out of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
I've seen these hundreds of people, because we were all in rooms going in and like 10 at a time in front of the director. He shoots most of BT's videos and things like that, and being able to work with him.
Yeah.
It was just major. Everything about it was still to this, like that was maybe 2 years ago, I think. I'm still getting things from doing that.
Wow.
So it's something I could take and put on my resume. I was on BET. I was, worked with Black Girls Rock.
Yeah.
I worked with this person, that person who was also on Black Girls Rock. I'm a part of a group called CEO Chicks. And they are kind of a mentorship program for businesses. So when I decided to start my business up, doing my own thing, they kind of helped me and give me some guidance as far as that. But I met the owner of that company through that actual shoot, through that actual, for that commercial, that campaign. So yeah, that by far has take the cake.
Yeah.
For everything. Yeah.
That's dope. You want to share your most embarrassing?
Ooh, let me see. Embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed.
I don't get embarrassed.
I don't get embarrassed.
Nah.
I fell. I wasn't embarrassed, but I did fall.
Runway?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I fell one time. There's the first time for everything. And this was like a Super Bowl fashion show.
Wow. They say everyone falls on stage. Like you hear that.
Luckily, it was during the flood, or the what you call it at the end. I can't brain fart. Okay. Yeah. But the dress that I had on had some beads at the bottom, and I end up taking a step, and the dress went under my shoe. Ooh. And so I stepped on the beads, and I fell. I kind of fell for it, and I dropped down. I got back up, but it was a line of models coming and going, so it wasn't. Okay. Somebody got a little bit of it on camera. I posted it on my page. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I fell. Like, dang. Man, because I was talking, so I knew everybody. I was like, hey, I'm telling people, talking to people, this and that. Like, I was like, hey, I'm the man around here. What's up? How you doing? Hey, what's up, player? Like, and here I am falling. After I was talking all that stuff, I never failed. Did y'all see? You see me fall? I failed.
You wore it. You got to wear it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm any mistake that I make at this point, I'm good with it. I'm grown, so there's no mistakes that's beyond me. I can't remember a time I was really embarrassed. I was walking. I had a train. I learned that I need to pick up my train. If I have on a dress with a train, pick it up. If anything's on the floor, pick it up. Do not walk and drag it.
Really?
I was walking, it was dragging, and I was walking past some models getting dressed, and she stepped back with her heels on. Ooh. And I kept walking, and she was still standing on it, and it ripped a hole in the bottom of it.
Wow.
And the designer went off on me.
On you?
Yes. And I had just watched America's Next Top Model like maybe a week or two before that, and the girl had ripped or messed up somebody's clothes, and she was crying. I was like, I would never do that. Oh. And it happened to me, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
I literally was like, he was like, I don't know what you crying for. It's toe up now. You can't even wear it. Take it off.
Oh.
Okay.
So there's a guy going off on you.
Yes. He was like, no, that cannot go on the runway. You're not wearing that. Now take it off. I was like, oh my gosh. I felt so bad. I was so embarrassed. Whew.
Yeah.
But I still work with the lady who put on that show to this day.
There you go.
She actually lives here in Atlanta.
Wow.
I work with her. I mentor some young girls. She has a mentorship program a leadership program for young girls, and I volunteer and help her out. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Let's talk about adversity real quick.
Okay.
Just really quick. Let's touch on adversity, because I know doing what you do, there's a lot of overcoming needed. That needs to happen. There's a lot of thick skin that needs to be developed. Just doing anything. I mean, especially being in entrepreneurship and taking your own future in your hands like that. So just talk a little bit about that and things that you have to overcome, and just kind of the resilience and the mentality that you need to have to see, success in your lane.
I always tell people you should be doing something in the field of what you love. Right. You should be doing something that you're passionate about. What are you passionate about? I don't know. Well, what do you like? What do you like to do? What do you love? What can you do every day for the rest of your life and be okay with doing? Right. You need to be figuring that out. You don't know, you need to start trying some different things so you can figure out what you like and what you don't like. Mm-hmm. Period. And whatever it is that you do, there's going to be some, friction. Nothing is easy. Nothing worth having is going to be easy. It's going to take some work to do it and get through it. It's going to take hard work. I had kids young. Mm-hmm. I was at fashion shows and castings with my children. Really? In the corner, playing games, reading books, watching a little DVD player. I was determined to do whatever it took to get where I wanted to go. And even still to this point, it's something that I love and I'm passionate about. So I'm going to keep doing it. You have to do something for yourself. A lot of people do things for other people and this and that, but you got to do something for yourself. In modeling, a lot of times, I got no's. Like, I got no's. Yeah. People think nobody ain't never told me no. You're going to get more no's than you get yeses. Yeah. I had a lady tell me, you have piss poor experience. What? I was in her office. It was me and her. I went in there like, hey, I want to model. Yeah. You have piss poor experience. That's what she told me. Wow. I will never forget that a day in my life. Wow. Wow. Now, if I was easily broken, that would have been it. I would have been like, okay, well, I'm never going to make it. Yeah. You have to be willing to keep going, even though the timing may not be right, or that particular thing or person or place may not be for you. What's for you is for you. So something is for you. You just got to figure out what it is and keep going after it, no matter what. My hair. I remember I did a show and a lady wanted my hair to be straight or be blown out. Hey, I don't really put heat in my hair, so yeah, I'm not gonna blow my hair out. Yeah, it's okay. You could just do it. Show up with your hair blown out. Yeah. Okay. When I showed up, it was like this. Like I told you already, I wasn't blowing out my hair. The lady was so mad. She was snatching my head around. She had to still do my hair for the show, and she was just like, I was like, it was kind of funny to me, but there's always gonna be something. Yeah. Always. And you just have to, go for what you know. Do what you love. Don't let anybody stop you. At the end of the day, you can only depend on yourself. If you're doing everything for everybody else, at what point are you going to do for yourself? Yeah. And how long are you going to not do for yourself? And I'm just now kind of even getting that, even though I've been teaching and working with agencies, I was still doing that. I love it. I'm passionate about it, but I wasn't doing it for myself and bringing in my own income and having my own business with it. So when COVID came and everything, all avenues stopped, I had nothing of my own. Right. So, just keep pushing. Don't give up. Yeah. Be inspired, encourage. On my timeline, on my Instagram, people like, you didn't follow me. You didn't follow me back because you got trash on your page. I follow things that inspire me. I keep positive vibes around me. If it's not helping me, it's hurting me and it has to go. Like, period. My tolerance level for things that are not aligned with what I'm trying to do, done. Low tolerance. Yeah. And you have to have that because, like, I do scroll on social media. I do. But my scrolling is intentional too. Like, I don't scroll just for the fun of it. Even though it is, if I may come across some stuff that's interesting and I'll share it, or my wife, she'll show me something. I'm like, oh, tag me in that, because I want to share it, with
with my brothers or with the family. But I'm scrolling, especially now that I have to sit down. I'm looking for people like what you have going on. I said there's sometimes I'll see people with like nice size following, and I would like to invite them on the show, but I'm like, what are you using your following for? Like there's nothing that you're doing. You just have this a lot. I'm just like, I don't even know what that's for. Which is okay if you want to have that, that's fine. Like I'm not knocking people that have that, but like for me, I'm like, if you're gonna have that much of a following, do something. I don't know what it is. Positive. Find something. Yeah. Like I believe, and I'm not saying that people that, there aren't going to be people out there that have jobs that are employees, because those are needed too. But if you have a passion, if you're motivated by something, if you don't like getting up and going to an office or something every day, then do something about it. Find something to do. Just find something. I don't know, remember Candy Ladies used to be in the neighborhood? Right. Make flip sales. I don't know, man. Do something. I do believe in that.
You gotta motivate. I don't know, motivate somebody. I guess if you haven't, that's why I lead by example. I do my best to lead by example. Yeah. Because I don't want anybody to say she did this, she did that. I mean, I am responsible for my own actions. People make mistakes. You got to make mistakes in order to learn and grow. I'm okay with all of that. But lead by example, follow things that inspire you. Sometimes I know it's rough for people because I mentor, I talk to different people, and I hear these stories, and this happened and that happened, and they don't have anybody to support them. And it's crazy. I was literally on the phone earlier today. She was like, I don't have anybody that support me, nobody that I love that loves me back or supports me. And I was like, well, I love you, I support you. Let me just tell you that. I know you don't know me like that, but call me if you need anything, if I can help, I got you. And I'm always doing that and telling people that. So a stranger will do something for you more than your family will. And even family is, I was just having another conversation with my brother. Relative and family is two different things. Like, you just a relative. We blood, but you're not my family. My family is gonna ride for me, ride or die. If I need something, I know they're there. That's my family. Yeah. Some people, you just have relatives. You think people are your friends, and like I said, they're not helping you, they hurting you. Period. So sometimes you gotta motivate yourself. So it's power in the tongue, and so you speak words, and if you need to look in the mirror every day and tell yourself, hey, I'm amazing, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that, and fake it till you make it. Sometimes that's what got to be done, but just start slowly moving those negative things or putting things in place to remove yourself from negative situations. Yeah,
that's big, and I've ran across that for a while, because there was a while where I wasn't as like out there as I should have been, or I could have been. I'm gonna say I should have been, because I feel like I could have done a whole lot more, or I should have done a whole lot more, because I had opportunities and avenues to. But I didn't have that self-confidence, to just say, okay, I'm gonna do this no matter what people are saying, because people were telling me things, people telling me I should do different things, stuff like that. They just trying to help. That's why I look at it. Families want to help. They want to see what's best, but sometimes what they deem is best for you is not what's best for you, because like, you got to thrive where you thrive. So I wouldn't do it. But I've gotten to a space now where it's just like, I will tell myself I'm good. Like, and it's not a cocky or arrogant thing, but in order for me to function at the level that I need, there's a certain amount of confidence you need, to be in that space. So if no one else is gonna give it to you, sometimes, man, you gotta point to yourself and just be like, I'm gonna get it.
So crazy that you kind of said that, like, that you have to tell yourself that, because even, I don't know, being what's the word, not being modest and humble is difficult. It puts a strain on you. Which is crazy. Like, oh no, I should be humble, right? But it's a strain. Like, I'm not comfortable talking about myself to people. Like, just randomly, if there's a room full of people, like, hey, what's up? I'm a model. You know anybody that needs some model? I got this. I did this thing over here. I'm beautiful. I'm just saying, And I have some people around me that they don't have a problem with doing that. But that's not a bad thing. It's just something that I'm not most comfortable with.
Yeah.
So I did an event with Kim McNair, the lady that I told you who ran the fashion show where I broke the clothes.
Yeah.
And I worked with the mentorship program with her. So there was a speaker that came in and they asked the girls, hey, how many of you feel like you're beautiful? Or you don't feel like you're beautiful? It had everybody close their eyes, and so many of the teen girls raised their hand.
Wow.
That really impacted me. So I'm a person that I feel like if I'm like, hey, I'm beautiful, that I'm being arrogant or boasting or something like that because I feel like I'm beautiful. I feel like I'm beautiful. I don't feel like I need to tell people I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Like, yeah, I'm beautiful. Like, I'm beautiful. You know, if somebody says, oh, you're beautiful, thank you. I mean, that's your opinion. I don't take it as, yeah, I am, you know.
Right.
Like, that's your opinion. Some people might not feel like I'm beautiful. Thank you. You know, I'm grateful for it every time. I don't feel like it's due. Hey, it's due. Hey, you didn't tell me I was beautiful. What you doing? Come back over here.
Yeah, yeah.
So after doing that though, and seeing how many of those girls didn't feel like they were beautiful, it gave me some type of feeling like, wow, people feel like that? I didn't even know that people were walking around feeling like that. Just because I don't say it doesn't mean that I don't feel it. But there's actual people, young girls that are beautiful, feeling like they're not beautiful.
Yep.
So I can never say I'm not beautiful anymore. I can never not take that credit. Now I have to say that. I have to say, yeah, I'm beautiful. I have to be that person to put that out there, and not being, you know, full of yourself or anything. Just like you said. You have to tell yourself that. I have to be that and own that and project that. I have to lead by example. Yep. So, hey, you beautiful. Yeah, I'm beautiful. We beautiful. Queen. Like, so it's something that I learned, and that was a couple months ago. That was recent. So, yeah.
I appreciate you sitting down with me, period. We did a fist bump. Normally I fist bump. So I guess tell the people how they can get in touch with you.
Hey, if you want to hire a model coach or a model coordinator or a professional model, just holler at me. You can find me on Instagram at Runway Diva Shay, that's SHAY, or you can send me an email at therunwaydivashay@gmail.com. I'm actually on all social media outlets as Runway Diva Shay, so it doesn't have to be on Instagram.
So thank you guys so much for watching the sit down. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, like this video, share, comment, do all that good stuff. But I know you're a subscriber because you're not gonna watch my stuff and not subscribe, so we're cool with that. Shop the sit down, and see you guys next time.